So when we spoke a couple of months ago, actually about 2 years ago, about doing redevelopment here in East Brunswick, we were dead serious about what we wanted to accomplish, and that is to sort of re-engineer East Brunswick in a way that works for residents of today and residents of the future. The first actual example of that is this project here on 110 Tices, what most people remember as the old Wonder Bread factory, and we already have plans for what will be going here, but the first step in the beginning of the process is demolition, which is what you see behind us. Can't tell you how happy we are to be at this point today, and we were excited about the future, and everybody that's here today had a part to do with that. So with that having been said, I'd like to pass the mic to the head of the Redevelopment Agency and fellow councilman, Jim Wendell, to talk a little bit about the process and what you're seeing here today.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just like to say, I mean, it's an exciting time in East Brunswick. We've been working on redevelopment here in East Brunswick since 2017, probably even going back to 2015, and to actually see something come into fruition and moving forward. This is a process here that has taken time and taken steps to get it right. This first project that we have here at 110 Tices is going to be a project that's not only going to be something that's for this community and this development only, but there's another process here where the developer's donating 8 acres back to the town, and the town's going to use that 8 acres for a facility that's going to benefit the entire town. It's been a long time coming. I'd like to thank our executive director, Michael Hughes, who's a previous councilman. I'd like to thank the help of all the rest of everybody who's here that was is either on council, was on council for this process. Assemblywoman Pinkin, who was a councilwoman here in East Brunswick, helped this process get started, and Councilwoman Sullivan and Council President Sturley Stanley.
We're taking a site that in another era was being considered and certainly was thriving as the old Wonder Bread factory. But we're in a different world now, and that use prior to our ownership of the site simply was not sustainable. So we began working with the Your Economic Development Authority here in East Brunswick many years ago as to trying to create a vision for this site for something that ultimately is sustainable for the future. And from our perspective, a mixed-use community that creates a variety of housing types that allows us to kind of hedge our bets as it relates to which housing style will be sustainable by having what will ultimately become a variety of housing types, open space, retail services and experiential retail within the project. We will be able to create something that's sustainable. We're also thrilled at the efforts that are being made with regard to this administration as it relates to upgrades to Route 18, both in terms of also creating sustainability and the continued efforts as it relates to the benefits in this site to mass transit at your bus transportation facility, which we will likely be offering shuttle service to allow our residents convenient access to buses to New York City. So there's a lot of things that this site has to offer. We'll call it an infill location, and to have a piece of property like this at this wonderful location in a community with such great schools, with a stable tax base, with employment opportunities is really an opportunity that doesn't come along very often. So we're very, very excited to move to the next step, and we hope to be completing demolition this summer and moving on into our site plan improvements in the fall and delivering our first units here hopefully within about 18 months.
I really thank each of you who are parts of the town and integral parts of the town, whether it's those who work for the town and have helped get us to this day. We're totally in your debt. And we have members of the Redevelopment Agency and the Redevelopment Advisory Committee. And this is a broad spectrum of individuals in the town, each of whom had an opportunity to opine, give their opinions, speak to other residents, so that at the end of the day, what we're looking to create is something that is truly a conglomeration of ideas that comes from everybody in the town, mixed with our professionals and the developers, and that really in the spirit of all being on the same page and creating something really wonderful here in East Brunswick.